Welcome to Reflect with Ed Fassio. Get ready to experience one of the world's first 100% digitally generated podcasts, where we take a step back, dive deep, and strive to learn new things. Join us as we unpack thought-provoking ideas, personal reflections, and inspiring stories to help you stay in the know. Reflect is brought to you by the minds at ByteBrain and powered by emerging technologies from Google, HeyGen, OpenAI, and 11 Labs. Thanks for tuning in. Now, relax and prepare to reflect.
Welcome to Reflect, one of the world's first 100% AI-generated podcasts. And today, we're diving into, well, something pretty huge. It's a really big shift happening in enterprise AI. And you shared some fascinating stuff with us, some real eye-openers. So we're going to really unpack what this means, what it means for you, for the future of work, for all of us.
Yeah.
One thing that jumped out at us was this idea of an untapped force in a lot of AI strategies.
Oh, absolutely.
Citizen developers.
Yeah.
These are the folks, in operations, in marketing, project managers, the people who are dealing with the nitty-gritty every single day. And they're the ones now getting access to, well, pretty damn powerful AI tools.
Some serious firepower for sure.
Yeah, so we're going to get into all of that, why just giving them access isn't enough, what needs to be in place to really scale this whole thing, to empower these people. You ready for some aha moments?
Oh, I'm always ready for those. Let's do it.
Okay, so citizen developers. Who are we talking about here?
Okay, so we're talking about those ops analysts, the marketers, the project leads, the business pros who are already out there in the trenches, solving problems every single day. And now they've got access to things like Microsoft Power Platform, Azure AI, even OpenAI APIs. Like, it's a whole new arsenal.
So these are people who, like you said, already know the workflows, the bottlenecks, the pain points, all that stuff.
They live it, they breathe it, they dream about it, probably.
Right. So the idea is that the real AI opportunity isn't just about having these super advanced models, but it's about actually activating these builders, these people who are actually, in the thick of it.
Exactly. They have the context, the domain knowledge, the understanding of what actually needs to be solved. It's not just about the tech, it's about the people.
Right. And that's where it gets interesting, because all of this stuff about literacy, community, governance, it all kind of comes into play here.
It's the missing piece, really. It's not enough to just hand someone the tools and say, go forth in AI.
Right. So let's unpack that a little bit. AI literacy. What does that even mean? Because I think there's a lot of confusion out there.
There is. And honestly, a lot of the current AI training, it's just too abstract, too technical. It's not connecting with the actual business value. You don't need everyone to be a data scientist. You need them to be AI fluent.
Fluent. Okay, so what does that mean? Like, what does that look like?
So it's about being able to look at your work and say, hey, this is a problem that AI could potentially solve. And then, understanding what kind of AI tools are out there, what their limitations are, where human judgment still matters.
So like being able to speak the language, right?
Yeah.
Being able to talk to the data teams.
Absolutely. Understanding data needs, being able to interpret the results. And let's not forget the ethical considerations, because those are huge.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, bias in data, ensuring shared outcomes. That stuff's not just a side note.
Not at all. It's fundamental. And, IBM talks about AI literacy being this core skill for the future of work. But the sources are saying, hey, it's not just for the future. We need it now.
Right.
Because otherwise, we're just setting ourselves up for a world of poorly implemented AI, wasted resources, and, potentially even some bad outcomes.
Yeah, that's scary stuff.
It is. So literacy is key. But then you need that community aspect. You need that support system.
Yeah, so tell me more about that. What do you mean by community?
It's about creating spaces where people can share knowledge, share best practices, learn from each other's mistakes. Not everyone has to reinvent the wheel.
So like internal forums maybe, or some kind of mentorship program?
Exactly. It's about breaking down those silos between departments, between the business side and the tech side.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, governance. This is where things get a little tricky, right?
Yeah.
Because for a lot of people, that word just screams bureaucracy. It screams red tape. It's like the opposite of innovation.
Yeah, I get it. But hear me out. The sources are actually arguing that governance in the right context can be a superpower.
A superpower. Okay, I'm listening.
Think about it this way. We're in this age of Low-code, no-code platforms. Tools that let anyone, build apps and automate stuff without needing to be a coding wizard.
Right, right.
But without proper governance, it's like the Wild West out there. Anyone can build anything, and that can lead to some real problems.
Like security risks or like just things not working properly.
Exactly. Or even worse, unintended consequences, bias creeping in, things like that.
So what you're saying is governance is actually about building trust.
It is. It's about saying, hey, we've got these guidelines in place, these ethical considerations baked in so you can move faster with more confidence, knowing that you're not going to break anything.
It's like guardrails, right? It's not about stopping you from doing stuff. It's about making sure you're doing it safely and responsibly.
Absolutely. And the cool thing is, some organizations are actually embedding these responsible AI frameworks right into the workflows.
Oh, wow. So like as you're building something, you're getting prompts, you're getting checks.
Exactly. It's not an afterthought. It's baked right in.
So it's like preventing problems before they even happen.
That's the idea.
That's pretty neat. And you know what? We've actually seen this before with other big technology shifts.
Oh, yeah.
Like think about BI tools, business intelligence tools. Back in the day, only the analysts could really crunch the numbers and make sense of the data.
Yeah, it's a specialized skill set.
Right. And then boom, suddenly everyone's building their own dashboards, getting insights from the data.
Democratizing data, essentially.
Exactly. Or think about the cloud. Before developers had to beg IT for server space, it was the whole thing. And then boom, cloud computing comes along. Now anyone can spin up resources on demand.
It's all about agility, speed, empowering people.
Right. And even design thinking, bringing customers into the creative process. It's all about breaking down those silos, right?
It is. And now it's AI's turn.
So the winners in this whole AI game, it's not going to be the ones with the fanciest algorithms locked away in some secret lab. No. It's going to be the ones who can build this culture of AI literacy, build trust, and really unleash that cross-functional innovation.
And make governance a feature, not a fear.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's get practical. Where do organizations even start with all of this?
Well, the sources actually lay out a pretty clear playbook. It's not about some massive overhaul. It's about taking these deliberate steps to create the right environment.
Okay, let's walk through it. Step one.
Step one is building internal learning tracks. And these aren't for your data scientists.
Right. These are for everyone else.
For the marketers, the project managers, the salespeople.
Okay, and what should those learning tracks look like?
They need to be focused on practical application. Real-world business scenarios, ditch the jargon, focus on use cases, make it relevant to their daily work.
Okay, step two.
Step two is launching use case starter kits.
Starter kits, okay, so like templates, examples.
Exactly. Pre-built components tailored to common business needs. It lowers the barrier to entry. People can start experimenting right away.
Okay, and this is where governance comes in, right?
Absolutely. Step three is embedding those governance prompts directly into the tools. Make it the default. Make it part of the process.
Okay, so as you're building something, you're getting those reminders, those checks.
Exactly. You're building responsibly from the get-go.
Makes sense. What else?
Well, step four is creating community chapters. Internal groups where people can connect, share their experiences, learn from each other.
So like building that support network, right?
Exactly. It's about collaboration, not competition.
Okay, last step.
Last step is normalizing experimentation. Encourage people to try new things, to iterate, to learn from their mistakes.
But safely. Right.
Safely and responsibly, always within that framework of guidelines and support.
Okay, so in the grand scheme of things, this is really about changing the way we think about AI.
It is. It's not just another project.
Right.
It's the next platform.
And if we don't build for trust, for literacy, for speed, then all these amazing tools, all this potential, it's just going to go to waste.
It really is. And the beauty of it is, by empowering these citizen developers, we're not just making things more efficient, we're actually tapping into this wellspring of knowledge, the people who understand the business better than anyone.
So what does this all mean for you, our listener? Are you seeing this potential within your own organization? How might fostering AI literacy and trust change the way your company innovates? These sources, they paint this really compelling picture of a future where AI adoption is driven by the people who are closest to the challenges, not just the tech wizards. It's about giving people the tools to navigate this whole new world responsibly and effectively. Think about it. Are you part of an organization that's actively cultivating this untapped force? What role can you play in building that literacy and fostering that culture of responsible AI development?
It's exciting stuff, isn't it? Just think about the problems you face every day at work. chances are there's an AI solution out there. There's someone in your organization who could build it. Maybe it's you. But the question is, are you being empowered to do it? Are the structures in place to support that kind of innovation? Because this isn't just about some abstract future. It's about unlocking tangible value right now.
Yeah. It's about moving beyond the hype, beyond the demos, and really focusing on those practical, human-centered steps that empower people. It's about building a future where AI isn't just something that's done to the business, but something that's built by the business, by the people who know it best.
And that's where the real power lies, not just in the algorithms, but in the unleashed ingenuity of your workforce.
Thanks for listening to the Reflect Podcast, where we're telling the future. Are you in it? Visit reflectpodcast.com and share your story.
In the cyber ocean of online voices and recycled content, something different has arrived. Reflect isn't just another podcast, it's the future of storytelling, powered entirely by AI. From curating data to assembling thought-provoking ideas, we've redefined how journeys are told. Reflect is a podcast that thinks, learns, and evolves with each episode. Every tale, every insight, crafted by the most advanced AI technologies. A podcast that disrupts the industry, breaking free from traditional formats, taking you on an entirely new experience. So tune in now and reflect. We're telling the future.